For over 40 years, Rabbi Noach Weinberg has been helping Jews of all backgrounds discover the wisdom and beauty of their heritage. Rabbi Noach was born and raised in New York City. He studied at Johns Hopkins and Loyola Universities and received his rabbinical ordination at the Ner Yisrael Rabbinical College in Baltimore. Today, he resides with his Rebbitzin in the heart of Jerusalem. With his trademark warmth, wisdom, and love for all people, Rabbi Noach has become everyone's rabbi, touching the hearts of Jews from all walks of life across the globe.
He's dead. His body is going to the ground, and that's it.
No more taxes.
How I live right at this moment will determine how my world to come will be.
After a person dies, we decompose and feed the worms.
You get in on the secrets of life that you didn't have when you were living.
When you die, you wake up to the fact, the reality, that you're a soul. That's what death is about. Inasmuch as a person has this realization while he's alive and lives the soul, asks himself all the time, what am I living for? The soul wants to know. Or what is life really about? The meaning of existence? The soul wants to know. Or loves people and endeavors to be a soul and to live a soul and puts distance between him and his body. You see, that skin, that's not me, and the hair isn't me, and the bones aren't me, and the body isn't me, but what is I? I am a soul, and the soul, what does the soul want? Not ice cream, candy, and cake, and sleep. And the comfort. The soul wants to accomplish. The soul wants pleasure. The soul wants greatness. The soul wants the ultimate of life. That's what the soul is. And as much as you live as a soul, then it's really an awakening. You say, wow, no more pressure from this dumb body. Yeah, I can be what I really want.
What happens when people die? I don't know. They go somewhere hopefully better than where they are now.
You go up and God judges you, and if you were good and you completed the goal that He set out for you in life, then you go to heaven.
Plays with angels and harps.
Clouds and pink, all mushed together, soft with flowers.
A nice, hot, beautiful beach.
It's out of this world.
We say a taste of heaven is Shabbat. If you're lifted into holiness, into living in God's presence, into feeling God's love. Anybody who felt God's love really felt embraced by the Creator as a taste of heaven.
A few months ago I thought I was going to be there, since I was in the hospital for about 7 weeks.
Heaven is up there. Heaven is everything you want it to be.
All of your innermost desires times a million.
So, you see, every human being knows life is beautiful. Ask anybody. Is life gorgeous? Is life beautiful? Is life... you can't articulate it. It's so precious. Life is so precious, yeah? And they're bored stiff. They're bored stiff. That's the body. The body is bored stiff. The soul says, hey, let's find out what in the world is going on. What is so precious about life? When did I know it? How do I know it? Where does it come from? How can I maintain it? How can I live it? How can I experience it? Yeah? Heaven is, you have that experience. Life is absolutely fantastic.
Could be like a California golf course.
Blue.
The sky.
Heaven's like the best day of my life.
Every one of us has a moment of awe or of aesthetic experience. Something is so beautiful. It hurts. It's so beautiful. We're transfixed by a view of a mountain or the Grand Canyon or a child laughing. It just hits you. Or a piece of music. We're sort of transcend our bodies. We transcend our bodies. We transcend our bodies into otherworldly beauty. Do you get that? That's heaven. You transcend this body.
Heaven is like a Smurf house.
I don't believe in heaven.
Picture everything that would make you happy in this world, truly happy in this world.
and bottle that all up and then explode it all over the place. That's heaven. That's heaven.
My high school?
School. My school.
It's fiery pits. It's everyone burning down there.
I think there's more hell on earth than there is in hell.
I believe every individual creates his own hell. If I don't take care of my physical being, I'm going to have hell. If I lose a job and I don't get out there and try and find another job, I'm going to have hell financially.
Hell is like a hospital. They fix you up. We don't believe that the Almighty takes revenge on our sins, on our mistakes. We don't believe our Father in heaven. You know, a father never requires justice from his children or revenge from his children. That's not in the book. But what do? We do require improvement. So sometimes you got to go to the hospital, have an operation so that your heart works. I mean, that's heck, yeah, but it's for your benefit. Hell is where they fix you up. That regret that we have sort of fixes the soul. It's the hospital for the soul.
You train your children from the beginning, and if they are good, they never have to worry about hell.
Rosha is a real bad man. He suffers in hell for 12 months. Now the custom is that if your father and your mother, if God forbid they die, you say Kaddish for 11 months, because that 11 months you're afraid they might be in hell, and you make it easier for them. You bring them out. But you don't say for full 12 months, because that is a lack of honoring your parents to say that they were as evil that they get the full term in hell. That's not nice. But if you happen to know that your father was a real bad man, yeah, or your mother, God forbid, was a real bad woman, then say it 12 months. Don't honor them at the price of their suffering. Yeah.
I think hell is a sweatshop factory.
Hell is like the worst day of your life forever.
Hell? That's got to be New York City.
Every year, the day that he died, maybe say a blessing in his honor.
Naming your child after the person would be a very nice thing to do. Well, you give charity in their name.
You know, somebody passed away. It's always a tragedy because there's so much more he could have done while he was alive. That's the whole tragedy. Otherwise, he's at peace. He's a soul. He's on his way to heaven, to ultimate pleasures, and the faster, the better. You know, great. But what we can do to help him is he's left something over. He's taught you something. A mourner should make a list of everything that he gained from the departed. He taught you how to be cheerful. Make sure you teach others, because that lesson keeps on going. That's his contribution. He taught you how to have courage. He taught you how to understand what life is about. He taught you how to be happy. He taught you how to treat people with dignity. He taught you how to be concerned with others. Whatever it is that he taught you, you write it out, and you understand how did he teach it to you, and you do the work of sharing that, even in the morning, sharing, you know. My life is different because my father never yelled at me and never yelled at anyone. He was always with a smile. He would talk to us, and that is what you're doing for the departed. You're making his accomplishments greater, more lasting, and more universal.
Remembering death? I don't get that. What do you mean by that?
The rabbis say that in the 6 days of creation, in the 7 days of creation, and the 6th day, that the Bible says, Vehine, the Almighty saw his handiwork, Vehine tov ma'od, exceedingly good. You know what tov ma'od is? Death. Exceedingly good is death. that the Almighty allowed death into this world is exceedingly good. So the question is, what do you mean exceedingly good? That's good. That's why we remember death. At wedding, we put some ashes, and people buy their cemetery plot. They even buy their tachichim, the clothes that they're going to use. People put it into their closet so that every day they would see it. Wonder, well, it's not a morbidity. On the contrary, it's a love of life. It's to remind you, you got a short time here. 70 years is a short time. Most people think they have eternity. If you know you have a short time, make hay while the sun shines. Use every moment of it. Every single moment. In the Torah it says, in the Bible it says that Avram Zaken, Avram, our father Abraham, got old. Bo b'yomov, he came with his days. And the rabbis say, how else do you get old? You know, you got to come with your days. So the rabbis say, we come with minutes of life. Most of the time we're wasting. Abraham came with every moment of life. If the doctor says to you, my son, you got this disease, you got 1 month to live. 1 month to live. Well, if you have courage, you know, you say, a month to live. Let me look. Let me see my children. Let me talk to them. What am I going to do this month? And how do I get the most out of it? But if I got 10 years, big deal, you know, tomorrow and tomorrow.
Just one quick moment and boom, you're gone and it's over, and all people have left of you is your memories and your things.
I just think that there's something up there waiting for me. I'm ready to go.
Tana says in Pirkei Avot, Ethics of Our Fathers, says, remember, it's a short day. Hayom Katzer. Hamalacha merubah. There's so much to accomplish. Hapoel Matzelim. We, human beings, are just naturally lazy. Asocher harbe. There's an awful lot to be gained. These are 4 different reasons, you see, to wake yourself up and to get a move on.
Boy, I don't know. It's something for the dead person, but I don't know like what the function of it is.
A remembrance of those who perished, those who you cherish.
Kaddish is basically praising the Almighty. I remember when my father died, I was 15 years old. In our community, the youngest of the mourners is the first Kaddish, the youngest. I was 15, I was the youngest, I was the baby of the family. So they turned to me, and I wasn't aware of this, and they turned to me and they said, Noach, you say the Kaddish. I was familiar with Kaddish. I was born in a religious family. I studied in the Cheder all my life, you know. I was familiar with it. I went to davening every day. But I never said it. In my life, I never said Kaddish. And this is the first time I was saying Kaddish. Yizgadav, Yizkadash, Me'irabo, Me'omod Uroch, Yerusei. I still remember it now. It was an ascetic experience. It was a celebration of life. It was exclaiming the beauty of existence and the beauty and the gift that the Almighty gave us in life, and how precious it is. It just picked me up. Now, a human being is supposed to attain this while he's alive. If you don't attain it while you're alive, you hope that your son will attain it when he's saying Kaddish. Because whatever somebody does because of you is listed to your credit. That's listed to your credit. That Kaddish that might have changed my life, I don't know how far it went, but it might have changed my life, is listed to my father's credit. Because I was saying it in his honor, in his memory, and because I loved him. I was celebrating life. I was celebrating our relationship to the Almighty Great Creator. That was to his credit, and everything that I affected in myself and others is his credit and his accomplishment in this world.
Sheva is the custom sitting for dead people, 7 days.
The days that the deceased is getting judged and being placed.
When a person dies, the mourners are obligated to sit shiva. Sit shiva means 7 days. They have to sit close to the ground. They don't have to sit on the ground, but close to the ground. And everybody who is their friends or neighbors or knows about the family comes to visit. And when you come to visit, it's very significant. You come shiva to comfort the mourners. So you're not allowed to say anything. You come in and you sit down. You sit on a chair, they're sitting close to the ground, and you just sit there. Until they start the conversation, you're not allowed to say anything. And you can sit there 15 minutes and they don't say anything, and you don't say anything, you're just there and you're looking. You might feel uncomfortable, yeah, but that's what you do. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, as long as you feel that you can afford, yeah. You sit there, and then you get up and you comfort the mourners. You say, "Amokem Yenachem Eschem Mitoch Shara Veiletzim Yerushalayim." You say this formula that the Almighty should comfort you amongst all the mourners of Jerusalem, amongst all of our tragedies. Yeah? And you go out. You say, "What did I accomplish? I was sitting there. I didn't talk." They know why you're there, and they know you come to comfort them, and your concern comforts them. It makes them feel better.
7 days you just sit down and relax after a relative passes away.
I'm not sure what all the details are of the Shiva, the 7-day period.
It's also for the good of the soul. People are coming, it comforts the soul, because they're partaking in this tragedy of a human being leaving this world, leaving all that he can accomplish. But there's much more. It's a healing process, because when the mourner starts speaking, so he tells you about, I've discovered that my father was giving charity on the side. I never even knew about it. But people come in and say, you know what your father did for me, you know what your mother did for me. And people come from work and they say when he walked in, he cheered up the whole place. And people are reporting good deeds and wonderful things. And we get to feel that, gee whiz, my father was so much more. And then when we tell people about how he brought us up and how he was always patient with our questions, and how when he made Kiddush it transfixed us. It was a height, and his blessings when he blessed us every Friday night. We all lined up, and he always used to give me a candy with a smile, and it brings alive to us his accomplishments, and it makes us resolve to try to be better ourselves, and it comforts the departed. He's there. It comforts the departed in as much as it reminds him of the good things that he's done in life.
I don't really know. I do think about it.
Our soul, travels around and maybe comes back, but there's no guarantee that I know of.
I think it's just, you're getting another chance at life.
In Judaism, we say there is reincarnation. But in Judaism, we say that reincarnation is the ultimate punishment. Going to hell, that's fine. Hell is a finite quality. You got 1 year in hell, that's it. And then you get to heaven. Everybody's got the things that he's done wonderful. That's nice. If you have a reincarnation, then you got to go another time around, another chance of outraging yourself and outraging God. And it's another. You don't want to do that. You want to get to heaven. God forbid, get to hell, but get it over with. You don't want to be. But there is such a thing as reincarnation. If somebody has to come back.
Just to be quiet, to listen to what they have to say.
That's going to depend upon the circumstances. You're going to have some sensitivity to it within yourself.
When you have a tragedy, I remember coming to comfort people and say it was so meaningless. He died in a car accident. There was no reason for it. That really hurts. That really hurts. When somebody dies fighting for the Jewish people, or when somebody dies because he was trying to help someone, you don't say it's meaningless. There's a comfort that He gave his life for his people. He gave his life to help humanity. He gave his life for something. So there's a meaningful ending to it, but when it's meaningless, it hurts people. So the more you understand and you give them that sense that their loved ones left a meaningful life, a life of purpose, a life of clarity, of teaching, of sharing pleasure, of helping people, of idealism, of trying to work for good purposes, the more there is this feeling that, okay, you know, he did his job. He was here, he did his job. He did his job, thank God. Now he can rest in peace forever.
Don't say, it's no big deal.
Hey, God wanted him more than you needed him.
Not to tell them everything will be all right.
You shouldn't try to leaven things up. If the mourner is in good cheer and he's laughing or whatever it is, then fine, leave him alone. You know, don't say, hey, you got to sober up. Yeah. Although in Judaism we say, watch out, don't play with your kids when you're mourning, because you should be in pain with the departed. Yeah. But that's not your job as a comforter. But at the same time, don't try to cheer people up. Don't say, hey, life is beautiful, etc., except in context, that it was a beautiful life that he lived, and it's so wonderful that we had him for what it was, and life is so precious in context, yeah, but not trying to distract them. Don't distract the mourner, which people make a mistake. That's not your job. Your job is to comfort him, not to give him escape. Escapes, there's plenty of escape.
I'm going to have to say yes, I would.
Living forever is hyped up.
I don't want to live forever.
Because this world is disgusting. Because we see what Botox did to people.
Hard question to answer. I really don't know.
If I can live forever, me, I would live forever, 100%. There's so much to discover, there's so much to do. In Judaism we say this world is the real world. We weren't born to die. We were not born to die. If you read the Bible, we were created to live forever. And I use it as a proof of Torah from God. Because where do you get such a concept? Where do human beings get such a concept that you live forever? I mean, and you think that you don't have the concept? Everybody's shocked when a 95-year-old father dies. You know, 95 years, you should expect it any day. Yeah.
And like, eventually you can accomplish everything on this world if you live forever. And then there's nothing left to do. And you'll be really bored and depressed. And you'll have to take a lot of Prozac.
Sometimes I feel that this time has been too long. I don't think I'd go for the whole stretch.
I love life. I love living. I want to live forever.
And the Torah teaches us that death is an outrage. So really, we should live forever. What do you do when you live forever? Yeah, you're going to be bored with computer games, and you're going to be bored with television. You're bored already. You know? But you're going to be bored with the finest restaurants. I mean, if you're living forever, you're going to be bored with everything that the body is preoccupied with. Then, what do? Then you start looking, what is so gorgeous about being alive? And if you have forever, you might even find out.
If I wouldn't be sick, yes. It'd be nice to see the generations, family, technology.
I could amass so much knowledge and be able to teach so many people. Maybe even actually be able to change the world because I had more than one lifetime to do it.
If you have any questions or any comments, anything at all, we're interested.